For this step you'll need 4 of the lining pieces labelled B1 to B4 in the pattern, as well as the 6 pocket lining pieces. I have them grouped in pairs. Lay them out on your work surface, starting with piece B1, then a pair of pocket lining pieces, B2, then another pair of pocket lining pieces, B3, the last pair of pocket lining pieces, and finally B4. As the pieces B1 to B4 are similar in height and width, make sure you're lining up the matching edge. If I rotate this piece B1, you can see it's slightly shorter, so just make sure that they're even. Also, if you're using directional fabric for the lining pieces, make sure that the direction of the fabric is going to the right or facing up, so that when the pockets are formed, the fabric direction is facing the right way up. Now we're going to start sewing the 3 zippers in the lining. So take piece B1 and have it right side facing up. Then find the centre of this long edge. So fold it in half and mark it with a pin. Also find the centre of the first zipper and mark the centre as well. At this point, decide whether you want the zipper to open from left to right or from right to left. So place the zipper face down in whatever direction you choose along the edge of B1 matching the centres. Unzip the zipper halfway, line up those centres again, then take one of your pocket lining pieces and place that face down, lining up all the edges. Then pin that in place. Then, using your zipper foot and a 1/4 inch seam allowance, sew a seam along this zipper, moving the zipper pull out the way as you sew. Now that you've sewn the lining to the pocket lining with the zipper sandwiched in between, we turn the fabrics right side out and press on both sides. Then top stitch along this seam here, about 1/8 of an inch along from the edge. Now we move on to sewing piece B2 and the other pocket lining piece to the other side of the zipper. Just as before, place B2 with the right side up and the zipper face down, making sure the edges are matching. Then place the pocket lining piece on top and pin that in place, and just as you did before, sew a 1/4 inch seam using your zipper foot along here, then press those fabrics back out and top stitch along the seam that you just sewed. Now that you have your first zipper installed, complete with the top stitching, we're going to sew the second zipper to the other end of piece B2. Just as you did before, find the centre of that long edge of B2 and find the centre of the zipper. So with piece B2 facing up, flip the zipper over so the right side of the zipper is facing the right side of piece B2, matching the centres. Then place a pocket lining piece face down, lining up the edge, this long edge along the zipper. Also making sure that the ends of the pocket lining match the lining pieces. Just as you did before using a zipper foot, sew a 1/4 inch seam along the zipper edge here, fold the pieces out and top stitch. Now that we have the first side of the second zipper installed and top stitch, we're going to sew piece B3 and the second piece of the pocket lining to the other side of the zipper. So just as you did before, place the right side of piece B3 over the right side of the zipper, lining up these edges. Then flip that over and line up the right side of the pocket lining with the wrong side of the zipper. So once again, you're creating a zipper sandwich. So then using your zipper foot once again, sew a 1/4 inch seam along here, open out, press and then top stitch. Now that you have your second zipper installed and top stitch, we go on to the last zipper, and it's the same as what you've done for the previous two. Lining up the centres, right sides together, then placing the pocket lining over the top with your zipper foot, sew a 1/4 inch seam down here. Then repeat the same with the last lining piece and the last pocket lining piece. So now that you have all 3 zippers installed, this is what it should look like. So you've got piece B1, B2, B3 and B4. And if I flip it over, you can see the pocket linings in the back. Now we're going to move on to sewing the actual pockets in the lining itself.